Appreciate it. Glad to be here with you folks. A lot of familiar faces. Tim Newman gave me a joke, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. You know, you all know that Tim ran the Knights for many years and began this exercise, and when he started, he had a full head of hair. And mine was brown when I started. Now it's gray. I've changed it up a little bit today. I brought a guest with me. This is his first appearance this year, but I brought Joel Scare, our field manager. He just got in with the team yesterday. Well, he drove in 2 days ago. And he came in, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of my time, which I'll put you to sleep, and hopefully Joel will wake you up. Now, Joel's been with us for 3 years, and I'll give him an introduction. He's the guy that, on the field, when the team loses, he's to blame. When the team wins, I take the credit. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes and show you some slides, and then kind of cruise right through, and then answer some questions for 5 or so minutes. But I'd like to start it out. You know, who's seen Field of Dreams? Have you seen that movie? James Earl Jones, right? He said, I can't do his voice, but I'm going to try, right? If you build it, they will come. Yes, Ray. Most definitely they will come. That sound like him at all? No. Well, anyway, so there's a new remake movie out of The Field of Dreams, and I'm in it. Anybody seen it yet?
We've been watching it for years.
Yeah. It's really not out because this is like going to be a joke, kind of. All right. So it now has, if you build it, they will come. Yes, Dan, most definitely they will come. And if they don't, Dan, you've blown millions of dollars. And Charlotte banks will come looking for you. And their money that they lent you. And you'll be fired, and you'll live in a refrigerator box underneath the interstate. So Dan, yes, they must come. I don't know, I gave that a shot. I'm thrilled to be here. You know, we're opening up in a week, 10 days, and it's been a journey here. And I'm going to show you a few slides. If you haven't seen, we are building a ballpark over around the corner here between Mint Graham and Martin Luther King and 4th. A lot of people have been a part of it. I've shown this slide a few times. It was a true rainbow. And I was trying to look back at the date and when we took this, when it was a vision of this ballpark coming here. I think it was 1955. No, really, it was 2008. But you see, that's right about where home plate is located today. So now I'm going to try to, now that's the pointer. Look at. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to try it, and I apologize, these screens are kind of on the side. I was thinking this was going to be, here is, of course, the rendering that you're going to see, and I'm looking at the dates, but this was the groundbreaking back in September. And as I mentioned, this is just under 8 acres between the streets that I mentioned, Mint Graham and Martin Luther King and 4th. You see the old Virginia Paper Company there. We're still feeling the effects of the Virginia Paper building with all the concrete. You would be amazed at what that building was built like. Somebody help me. Did it? Okay, she's taking a little bit. Well, you saw that here's the work in January as we continued along with it. Are you kidding me? Where is Jeff? Thank you. I'm inept. You go ahead and click it. There's January as we continue through it. You see, this was taken back in October as we laid down the root zone and the field was going in. This webcam is taken over at the trademark. They don't know it, so don't tell them to put a camera up on top of their building. And then you go into December and you see that we put the field down in December for a lot of reasons. One, of course, to get through the winter, but two is to make sure that people can see it at Monday Night Football. So you'll see as we go down there. But beautiful facility. The capacity is just over 10,000, which is what we talked about. You'll see some of the specialty areas there. You click it. And here in March, you see we know how to grow grass. We're not sure if we're going to play baseball well yet. Joel's going to tell us about that, but we know we can do it. And you see the BB&T ballpark. Here's just some fun facts about it. Of course, we're opening in the spring of 2014. 10,200 seats, natural grass. It's in the center city from I-77 year 277. Consultants say, and we certainly expect, that BB&T Ballpark will draw 600,000 fans in the first year and many years to come. It will be home to all the baseball games, but it'll also be active 12 months of the year. And you see that our partners in this, which you'll often talk about, is BB&T, Piedmont Natural Gas, Carolina Healthcare. I'd like to always pump up, and Duke Energy is the support of them. Without them, we wouldn't be able to make this project possible. And of course, the groundbreaking was in September. If you followed along recently, and I've kind of added these things in, but we changed our brand. We felt it was really important to keep the Knights name. You know, we got this effort done because of a commitment of a lot of people, but we also wanted to rebrand ourselves. And so you see some of the things that we've done in getting back to the Knights theme, the Queen City. A lot of people smarter than I and our marketing folks really wanted to pay attention to this. And you see it's been a tremendous response in our stores. Very classy look. But you see with the brand in it, and of course we have alternate caps. And you could look through all those, but again, it's to rebrand our team and create our own identity in this inner city. And we also unveiled our new uniforms, which was just last week. And the next slide was kind of, we had an announcement. If you go along Graham Street, you'll see these murals that were painted by an artist out of Raleigh that came in, and he's designated each one of those at the ballparks dating back to 1902 with Warren Field, Latta Park, and then of course Crockett Park and Knight Stadium. So you'll see that along there. And then just a couple of specialty features as we go through this. But the Upper Club, many of you have had an opportunity to take a tour through it. It's really a special place. We've put a lot of time and energy into designing this and making it very accommodating and fan-friendly. Two of the unique features in this ballpark is the dugout suites that many of you, your companies have already rented. We sold half of these already. They're on a nightly basis. They accommodate up to about 25 people. You are closer to the hitter than the pitcher is. Those of you that have heard me mention it, you're 45 feet away. The home run porch, which is facing Ramir Bearden Park. If you look out to the back will be the park, and of course to the front side is the upper deck. And that will be, I've often said, 25 years ago, that would be the place I'm hanging out. That's where the young folks are going to be. Now I'll be in the interior air-conditioned suite type thing with people waiting on me. But that's really going to be a nice thing. Of course, here's the view from that place that I told you, don't tell anybody that we have a camera. But that's a night view of it. And if you've seen it, it's really lit up the city in the evening. We lit up the city last week when we had our fireworks show and didn't tell anybody. Did anybody hear about that? Sorry about that. We couldn't tell everybody. Yeah, we were testing the fireworks because we're going to do them on the middle of the field, and we did the shells and the fallout. It'll be happening again on Thursday because we got to test them again because the fireworks kind of ended up in the street. And Ron, don't tell anybody. They were everywhere. So we're working on that. And then here's another picture. I think this was just taken yesterday. And you see the grass area that's in the outfield. That will be the development you hear us talking about. That will be really the next exercise that really I'll be spending a lot of time on is office and hotel development in the outfield. It's parcel to this. And you've seen the already how the third ward has just grown since this ballpark. I don't know if it's all because of the ballpark, but I think it helps. A lot of the apartments that are being rented are facing the field. But you see, it's going to be very intimate. It's going to be a signature in the third ward. It's already generated a tremendous amount of interest, I've seen anyway. And we're looking forward to employing a lot of people out of this ballpark too. And then lastly, again, just another view from behind home plate. And one of the signature things that we've often talked about is the skyline in the background. While it probably won't sell any tickets, it's really nice to be able to look out from home plate out into the outfield. And then I think that's the corner, a little signature area on the BB&T ballpark on the corner of Graham and Martin Luther King. And then I think lastly is the view, as I said, Monday Night Football Patriots game. Couldn't get the blimp to take too many pictures of it, but I wanted to do it. We even painted the field. We put like "Go Knights" or something, and they wouldn't zoom down and look at it. And that's really that. That's it. I was going to leave. I think I did it okay for about 5 minutes of questions. Looking forward to the Rotary Night on May 6th, right? And I've decided to give you free tickets and free food, right? It's April Fool's, right? Yeah. Okay, with that, a couple quick questions, and I'm going to introduce Joel. Yes, sir.
Can you go back to the slides and show us where the Rotary event will be?
Probably not. Yeah, let me go back. Let's see. Oh. Keep going. Other side of the side. Yeah, probably need to. It's down there above the sand. Right in this area down in here. It'll be in left field corner. Accommodates about 250 to 300 people. It's really a nice view. Left field, the question was how many feet? Left field, that's 330 down the left field line, 315 down the right field line. A lot of home runs going out of there. Pitchers need to keep it down. Yes, sir.
Is that 315 dimension, is it a high fence there?
It is. It's a 13 or 14 foot fence. So, and the wind blows from the west to the east most times. It's going to be fun. Yes, sir.
Have you worked at any transportation between the Blue Line and the stadium? Those might, or is it going to be a walking trail?
It's going to be walking right now. We want to find out, the question was the transportation Blue Line, is finding out exactly where our clients are coming from and understanding that this is a whole different approach for us, our clientele, our fan base, and just figuring it out. It's also the parking around the ballpark. We've worked with Mint Street Garage is where our season ticket holders, most of our suite holders or club seat holders will occupy Mint Street Garage. And that accommodates about 40% of our fan base. So the rest is, really parking is not a problem. And if you haven't bought your season tickets yet, we're still selling those. Go on www. See, I gotta get the infomercial in. What is it? CharlotteKnights.com. But there are still season tickets available in partial plans. Yes?
So I don't know much about baseball, obviously, for this question, but could this field...
I don't either. Don't worry about
Could
it.
this field or could this facility become a Major League Baseball stadium?
The question is, will it become a Major League Baseball stadium? It's not necessarily expandable full for a Major League team to the extent of 30 to 35,000. If Major League Baseball was to come here, what you would do is probably expand it for a temporary, 1 year fix where you may put 15,000 people in it total. This site was too tight. Major League Baseball is at least 15 to 20 years away. It's been an often asked question, and the reality is this market right now, the way it is, it's just too far down the road. Let's make AAA baseball work and be the best in the country, and then we'll figure out that Major League thing. Yes, well.
Dan, you've had, I think you get some allowance from the baseball commission because of the size of the field. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, well, the question was the waiver. The waiver was just on right field. Right field was 315. It should be 330. But a lot of ballparks, downtown ballparks, and Joel can attest to this, they're all unique in the way that they design them. We had it simply because of the size of the site. It's very tight, and in order to meet all the codes, that was as deep as we could go. But I think it's going to create a lot of excitement. Our ball's going off the wall and doubles and triples for the good guys, the Knights. Yes?
Hey, I know a couple of years ago, the White Sox actually came and played an exhibition game against the Knights. Now with the new stadium, do you have any plans to maybe have the parent club come in?
Yes. Can't announce that yet. Yes, we are pleased. We did sign it, if you didn't know, it's a 6-year extension, which is the longest extension that we have, that you can have for a Major League affiliate, and that's with the White Sox. They've been great partners with ours. Joel is an employee of the White Sox, but a very tight relationship with Mr. Beaver and Mr. Reinsdorf, and they've always been very good at giving us quality players, competitively, but also really good people. We've been fortunate over the years to get a lot of good guys, and that's, I think, a credit to our field staff, but also the White Sox philosophy. Yes, one more question, and I'm going to turn it over to Joel. Yes?
How do you think the White Sox are going to do this year as a major league and then filter down? Do you
Well,
have a little bit better year this year?
I think they will. I think that, they went through a pattern and they went through growth, and Joel can answer this probably a little bit better than I can, is that, organizations go through peaks and valleys and, and the payroll, and what I do know is we've developed a lot of players for the Major League Club in Charlotte. I don't know, we sent up at least 15, 16 guys last year, I think, and they continue to get better. Very competitive division, and But Mr. Reinsdorf has anything to do with it, he invests and wants, he's as competitive a guy as you'll ever meet. Let me go ahead and turn that over and introduce this gentleman. He's in the third season as a manager of the Knights. He's got 148 wins. He led our team in 2012 to an 83-61 record and won the Southern Division. Joel's went to the International League Finals in 2012, losing to Pawtucket. But he's played 9 seasons in the major leagues and played for the White Sox, 83-86. Joel's family comes in here quite often. In fact, his daughter, Erin, came to school here at UNCC and now teaches in Matthews. So his family's found what we've all found. This is a great place to live and work. Joel's had a great career in the major leagues and with the Cleveland Indians. He's bench coach in Oakland. He's got numerous awards as well, but we're just thrilled to have him and his staff here. They went through the tough times at Fort Mill and got through an older ballpark, and now he has the opportunity to come into this brand new one. So at this time, let me introduce the field manager for the Charlotte Knights, Joel Skinner.
Here we go. Okay, I just want to thank everybody for letting me come out here. First of all, just to kind of tell you a little bit about myself, I was a catcher, and I was a young kid out of San Diego and was given the opportunity by the Pittsburgh Pirates to sign, and I went to Shelby, North Carolina. I went from Pacific Beach, California. Okay, I lived about 6 blocks from the pier, and did everything you could possibly do at the beach to Shelby, North Carolina. And I was 19 years old, and it was really a nice adjustment to the real world. So we went from Volkswagen vans to pickup trucks real quick. But that was my first taste of professional baseball, and minor league baseball throughout the Carolinas is really something that I've really had a chance to enjoy. I also played at Greenwood, South Carolina the next year, so I spent some time here before as a young teenager as a player. Then I was fortunate enough to get to the major leagues with the White Sox in 1983, and then went on to have a career as a catcher. I was fortunate enough, I got traded to the Yankees and then the Indians. And I was done at 34. I was done playing. I played 15 years. I couldn't brush my teeth with my right arm. And the Indians asked me if I wanted to be a minor league manager. And I looked at my wife and asked permission. And at that time we had 4 little kids, and so she was actually the backbone of the whole thing. She would take our kids out of school and homeschool them for the spring training and the final part of the school year. And so I did that, worked my way back to the major leagues, and now we're empty nesters and I can do whatever I want. And so, but we really enjoy coming to Charlotte. And Buddy Bell, who runs our minor league system, called me up a couple years ago. I was coaching in Oakland. Our manager got fired, and as a result, we all got fired at the end of the year. And so Buddy called me the next day and said, I've got this thing going on in Charlotte, and we need a manager. And I had finished my career here. I played, I think, 6 games. In 1994, I tried to see if I could play. And so the Indians were here in town at the time. And so I came to Charlotte, and I played, I think, till about the middle of May. And I called my wife. She drove all the way down from, at that time, Cleveland, with a car full of kids. And we had played in Toledo that Sunday. And so she called me and said, hey, we're here. And I said, you know, honey, I'm glad the trip went well, but I decided that I'm not going to play anymore. I retired that day, and we got back to Charlotte, got back in the car, and drove home. But so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I was fortunate enough to play in the major leagues for a long time. But I'm here to answer questions about baseball, what we're doing here in Charlotte. Obviously, we have a young club. We have guys that, we have some guys on the way back, you know, guys that have a taste of the major leagues. We have some guys that have never even, you know, that's the best part of my job, is when I can call a kid in and say you're going to the big leagues. It's wonderful. It makes my whole season and they just start, a lot of them start to cry. They've been doing this for, they've been in Kannapolis, the summer in Kannapolis, or they've been in Birmingham, and then it's hot, and they just got off a 10-hour bus ride, and then, they have to play that night. By the way, we play 144 games, and we have 5 days off, not counting the All-Star break, just to let you know what these guys go through. We'll get on a bus tomorrow at 3 just to beat the traffic, and we're going to go to Norfolk, which is, our league's pretty, we're okay because we don't have too many tough. But some of those other leagues, it's rough. But they play like we will. We'll play 144 games, and I think we have 1 day off a month, and then we have 3 days off during the Major League All-Star break. So these guys, they have to strap it on, and they get after it. And you guys are fortunate enough to see the 3 hours, but I'm the one that has to. We're the ones that are helping these guys in the cages and the preparation that they go through, the weightlifting and the nutrition and all the different things that these athletes go through nowadays to get to that final. And I think only, 4% of them actually make it to the major leagues. And then I think out of that group, I think maybe only 4% of them, I don't tell them this, but I think only 4% of them make it a career of like 4 years or something. So it's really, really a lot. We see all the accolades of the Cal Ripkens of the world, and those are the guys and they deserve the accolades, but there's a lot of other guys that go through this, and it's just really, really, but my job is great. I get to deal with young people. I encourage them, and we, like I said, we go out every night to try and win a ball game. And my advice to our pitchers is I've never seen a ground ball go over a fence ever in my life. So we try and keep the ball down. We start there and we work our way from there. But we're very excited about coming downtown. This is going to be fabulous. Just to give you a little idea of how the league works, the Western Division is Indianapolis, Toledo, Columbus, and Louisville. And they all have these downtown ballparks, and it is fabulous. And it's just such a treat for the players to play in front of a crowd of people. It really makes a difference in the brand of baseball. And then you just look around the whole International League, and it's very healthy in those regards. And Charlotte's going to be the best. It's the best venue. It's the best town, and it's going to be. Our guys are humming right now. I walked in there yesterday, and they're staying at the DoubleTree. So they went from the Comfort Suites in Pineville, now they're at the DoubleTree. So that's good. But so they've really upgraded. But it's something that and it's a new. And I told them, guys, this isn't just opening day next week. It's it's a real opening day. And they're excited about it. We're going to have like a gala at the new park, which is in the right field corner there. And the reason it's 3:15 is they have to keep the sidewalk a certain distance, so they couldn't push it back. But 3:15 is fine. That's plenty of room. That's good. And I went up into that upper deck, looking into right field, and my knees were kind of quivering. You're sitting like over the field. It's really cool. And then there's like a little, they got places to put your beer, and it's going to be quite the place to hang out in the right field corner. But our dugouts literally are from here to I would say to that little bump out. It's going to be a tight fit from a standpoint. The fans, you're going to be right in there in the action. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. But let's just talk some baseball. I want some questions about anything across the board. You were there, sir. Yeah.
Chris, you said something about a bus ride. I was under the impression the International League flew.
Only in our division. We bus in our division.
Oh.
So we bus to Gwinnett, which is outside of Atlanta. We bus to Norfolk. We bus to Durham. And then what we do is, let's say we're playing in Toledo and Columbus, which is what we'll do. We'll fly to Detroit, and then it's a lot simpler just to bus to Toledo from Detroit. It's less than an hour. Because we try not to make any connections. We stay away from that. Because we do fly commercial. We don't have charters. So then we'll fly to Toledo or play Toledo, then we bus to Columbus, and then we fly back to Charlotte. So it works out real well. Yeah.
Can you tell us what the average salary is of these guys?
Yeah, the young kid, let's say you're a youngster and you signed 2.5 years ago. You're not going to make much money. You get paid for 5 months and you might make $2,500. Now, all of a sudden, a year later, you're on the Major League roster, which is 40 guys. Now your salary gets bumped up to maybe, I think there's a minimum of maybe $40,000. And then, but there's a lottery ticket at the end. And that's what these guys are trying to get to. If you get the minimum salary for a Major League player is $500,000. So you divide that by 6 months. So now they go from one bucket to the other pretty quick. So when I tell them they're going to the big leagues, it's really a lot of fun. I mean, they go from, and you can kind of tell on how your team is. And I told this when I was coaching third for the Indians. We were in this kind of your team goes like this. So we had blown up the team. All the Kenny Loftons and all those guys were gone, and we had to redo it. So it was the spring of 2002. I walked into the manager's office, and he was talking. I said, we're not going to be very good this year. He goes, what are you talking about? We got to coach these guys up. I said, have you looked in the parking lot? And there was really some bad cars. So in the players' lot, I'm talking about. So now we work our butt off for a couple, 2 or 3 years, and now it's like 2005, and now Grady Sizemore and all these guys, Casey Blake, they come up through the minor leagues. We're really good. And so I walked into his office. I said, hey, Wedgie, I said, we're going to be pretty good. He goes, no kidding. I said, have you looked in the parking lot? We had, you should have seen the rims on some of these Escalades. So you can tell by your team by how the kind of cars they drive, getting back to their salaries. Yeah.
Will the video review of plays come into the minors?
I hope, no, I don't think so. I think what they'll do is they are trying to get the calls right. Hopefully they'll just give us a little bit more leeway as managers to have discussions, and you'll see they'll get together, the 4 of them or 3 of them, how many we have that night as umpires. Sometimes it's better to have only 3 umpires, by the way, so that you have one less guy to make a mistake. But what you do is, in the Major League level, they obviously have the budget and the wherewithal to do that, but I don't think at the minor league level that that's pretty expensive to have to do that. Yeah, right.
Have you ever been tossed as a coach or player?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a catcher, Josh Begley, who's really good. And personally, I wish he wasn't here. I mean, I don't understand. I wish he was in Chicago, but he's that good. He's got some things to get better at. They all do. I mean, and I see all the warts because I live with the guys and I kind of understand, but there are some things that he needs to improve on. But we have a little middle infielder named Carlos Sanchez who played here last year. I think he hit like 240 as a 20-year-old or 19-year-old. He's from Venezuela, so hopefully this year, with having last year under his belt, he'll be. I think he was Rookie of the Year in winter ball this last winter in Venezuela. Jordan Danks is back.